Welcome back, everyone, to the Italian Federation. I have changed a couple things since last time. One, that I installed the more unit levels mod, which I liked, but I didn't think was actually save game compatible. Now that I noticed that it is, I just installed it, and then I just set up a bunch of air forces everywhere, which is obviously kind of important. And I also noticed that there's a way to garrison ports automatically. I'm going to show you because they changed the garrison area command to have essentially a bit more customization on it. You can essentially tell your commanders what to actually guard. So you can just tell them to guard naval bases, and they'll guard naval bases. So I'll try it. Even though I know it's a bad idea. And at least for now, I'll just use that command instead of deselecting every unit. As you can see, it thinks that the minimum of divisions that it is required to use is 12, which means that I'm going to have to give it some more divisions if I want him to properly execute the command. But it's decent. The ultimatum. Berlin wars Paris. Oh, so that's because they're attacking us, right? Germany has come out to our aid. They have sent an ultimatum to the Commune of France: either fall back to their homeland or risk annihilation. We knew they'd pull through for us, so thanks Germany, actually. That is very, very useful of you. What? Why can't I just click on Germany? Okay. That's probably gonna give us a better... Wait. Italy attack Australia? Austria? Germany? Oh, because I attacked Austria, right. So our relations, the Syndicalists pull out of Italy. After the ultimatum was received by Paris, they quickly sent orders to all their commanders on the ground to cease fire and return to their homeland. Italy's independence will be kept and our pride intact. Thank you, Germany. Wow, that's actually really nice. Ace pilot promoted, so we managed to get an ace before everything fell to shit. But that's good, because it allows us more time to actually prepare for the actual war. Even though it says that we're still at war. So maybe the event is a little bugged. Which wouldn't be very fun. Electronics producer, I'm just trying to see which company would be best next. I would definitely like Otto Terni Orlando. What am I researching in terms of actual things? I'm researching a tank, which means that getting a tank company would not be a terrible decision. Also, a capital ship would be okay. I'm getting a light tank though, so we need to get a small tank producer, such as Fiat. I have either Fiat or Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo gives me more defense on my light tanks, which is not exactly what I'm looking for on my light tanks. I'm looking for more something like soft attack and hard attack. It would be okay to get Fiat, but I don't think I'm going to be using the L3 very much. I think I'm going to be working my way towards at least the M139 before I actually use my armor and start producing armor. So I will not go for a light tank producer. I will go for a capital ship producer. Where is a capital ship producer, you say? Oh, I don't know. CRDA. That's only for battleships and battlecruisers. Unfortunately, not anything for carriers. But it will still be pretty good with 6% more naval firepower and range. However, we would have to get 10% more production cost and eat that. In alternative, towed artillery production cost seems pretty decent. But we won't get another artillery piece until 1941, right? Or 1942. Yeah, not until 1942. And we can't make a variant of an existing artillery piece, right? Let me just see it very quickly. Nope, we can only change the name. So we're gonna have to be a little bit forced in a way to go with a either infantry equipment or the capital ships. I'm liking the capital ships, so I'm gonna hire CRDA. This guy is still training. And these troops are getting ready for fighting the enemy. Now, the enemy seems to have stopped their offensives. Okay. Let's see if we can make an offensive of our own to answer their insolence. We should have enough. Oh, that's a naval invasion. So they're trying to attack with a lot of troops, but they can't defeat our superiorly equipped men. Now, in our battle, we have a bit of a problem in the vicinity of Naples because it seems like with their armor divisions they are able to repel our infantry because we don't have any anti-tanks. And then the other problem is also the fact that there's a river crossing. Oh no, just terrain. So we're gonna wait on that and try to defeat the enemy in this province, which is mountainous, so that would not be very good. But at least we are able to defeat them. That will cost us a lot of casualties, unfortunately. Let's go and check that out. That was 6,000 losses. Yes, not very optimal. But at least that kind of clears the way for an attack on Naples. Naples proper. And the French are starting to reinforce their allies. There's still some naval battles going on. And our navy is definitely not ready to go out. I definitely also need to get offline on Steam, because otherwise, yeah, that would not be very, very fun at all to just hear the blips constantly. And they're sending light cavalry divisions to help their allies, which is not very good for us. There's the L3 research. We're going to go for the L6. The French might be trying assaults. In fact, that is the Union of Britain that is trying to assault our areas, but it is really no problem. We have the equipment effort. Good. I'm going to go for the second one. Trying to get some more manpower on our way. We don't have any decisions, unfortunately. Not even sure why I looked. And we have some free military factories. What can we produce with that? Well, motorized sounds okay. Do we have any motorized? We have 1,000. So some more motorized would be okay. I would like to upgrade my troops with field hospitals. So having more motorized would be good. I don't have any field hospitals though. That's unfortunate. Where would we find field hospitals? We're gonna need to wait until we finish at least one research. And there's the French offensive. Whoa! The British seem to have broken through completely in the south. So we're gonna take a few troops that are over here and ship them back over. And take 6 divisions and ship them back over. So the British seem to have broken through in the south, not really sure how, and the French are making an offensive in the north, which is obviously not very good. They may have overextended themselves though. if we can cut off their advance in Western Liguria over here, that would be useful. We've also managed to shorten the front over here by taking one of those provinces. There's also a bit of an issue over here. We're about to get cut off, so let's retreat. And we are going to take our close air supports and send them north. We seem to have air superiority, so at least that's going for us in our favor. With 600 close air support aircraft up here, we should be able to at least stall the enemy from making further advances. And now we are going to go with... We're going to go with a military high command person. Offensive barrage seems pretty good. Artillery attack is going to be nice. Because all of our artillery, all of our divisions use artillery. Let's optimize our defenses. Soon enough, we're also going to need to have a... We're also going to need to have a conscription increase. Now, we're just trying to retreat up here in Savoy to shorten our front a little bit. And to have a little bit of a more efficient defensive line. We might be able to recapture Nice if we attack hard enough. They have a lot of divisions over here, but a lot of them, because of the combat width problems, will not be able to actually fight. And thanks partially to our air force being so strong, we are able to do a lot of damage. In fact, speaking of air forces, let's get one of my aircraft in position to provide air superiority over the sea to help with our ships. And we also appear to have problems in central Italy. There's a lot of enemy bombers, but at least we're shooting them down, which is pretty nice. We've shot down 107 bombers, which is obviously really good. And we're still trying to train up some divisions. Wait, what? No. You are ready. You're going to go to the mountains to help out with that front. This is the combat that's worrying me. We have a huge bonus because of all of our advantages. Problem is, the enemy still has a lot of divisions. They're trying to also navally invade me, which is not going to work. And we have more factories available. We're missing artillery, so I'm going to improve the production of artillery. And now they have managed to break our lines near Turin. Obviously, very bad for us. We need to stop them before they can capture one of our main cities. We might be able to recapture Nice, though. In fact, it seems like that is going to be the case. We also seem to have problems because the British have landed in Sardinia and Corsica. So we'll send our air force back away to prevent them from losing their supplies. Now we'll continue our advance in the south of France. Or, I'm sorry, in the south of Italy. because this is Italy, right? Not France. And right, what was I trying to get? Field hospitals, because I want my soldiers surviving a little bit more. We definitely don't need any of that death nonsense. We're gonna have the Littorio battleship available to us soon, but in the meantime, we are gonna produce more convoys. Convoys are always good. In fact, we are lacking oil and rubber. Let's try to get some trade going. First with someone that we have actual influence over. Thankfully, the French seem to have kind of exhausted themselves with the terrain and their offensive, so we are able to push them back fairly steadily. All of their troops are very low on supplies, so it is really easy for our men with their superior air support as well to give them a hard time in combat. This attack, though, is very foolish, so let's stop that. We have the dive bombing, so we're going to continue with direct ground support, which is going to improve our close air support's ability to support our men immensely. And they are building up forces in southern Italy, which is not good. Not at all good. We still have some divisions in training, so when the fight actually comes, aka now, we're going to need to send those half-trained forces into battle. We're going to take also 300 aircraft and use them to support our men. Actually, we're going to use these divisions in a guard duty. And we're going to take other divisions and send them to the front. Divisions who are more prepared for this. In the meantime, in France, we're doing fairly well. We have managed to deal a lot of damage to French forces, and now we're trying to surround a few of them. We're going to advance towards Grenoble and try to pocket these enemy divisions in the south of France. Unfortunately, the problem is that our divisions, while strong, are weak in numbers, so we don't actually have a lot of territory that we can cover safely. So for now, we're going to need to be content with just advancing. If we can take Marseille, though, we're going to have the surround on the troops in Toulon. One thing that I would like is to bring the Entente in this war, but I don't think that's going to be an option, at least for now. Let's try to take Marseille. It seems to be possible because they only have 2 light mountain divisions. And then once we capture the city, which we're not going to do because they sent in a lot of reinforcements. Actually, we might be able to do that. Nope, not possible. They also seem to be advancing over here, so let's repel them. In the south, things are pretty normal. There's just a ton of troops squaring off against each other. And now we have some extra infantry divisions available for the fight. Toulon seems to actually be completely empty of enemy troops, so let's take it. And now we can advance towards Merci. Having that strong industrial and port city is going to help us even further in our efforts against the French. Problem is, they still have a lot more troops than we do. And while they're taking substantial casualties fighting us, that's still not going to be enough to actually get the victory off. In Italy, we have the advantage of just the narrowness of the front. That's really helping us. Now we have the Falco class aircraft carrier. I'm going to go for the next aircraft carrier, but not before I wait and... actually, are we getting another tech slot available soon? Not really. Not really. So I'm going to wait until I'm not going to waste the ahead of time bonus on a tiny tech like improved infantry equipment 2 so that I can use it on the new assault rifle. I'm just going to be waiting and leaving the tech slot to the wolves, essentially. The main problem seems to be in this province. So let's try to reinforce with a mountain division. And looks like the Dominion of India also declared war on the Barfan Commune, which is not a good idea because they're at war with everyone in India. So they're gonna be probably going down if the Entente can't pull their allies out of the mud. What's really good is that we're getting more divisions off the training lines, and our doctrines are getting ever better, so we're going to have an easier time in general than we had before. In the south, though, the enemy does have a very good advantage. That's also partially because we have outrun our air support, which is not good. Not at all good. I'm going to take my aircraft and try to help there as well. In fact, they are getting help from their air force and we aren't. So we're going to need to definitely up the ante in this regard in the region. There we go. We have also managed to capture some Austrian aircraft, but they don't seem to be very useful. Not 100, please. 50. We should be able to establish our superiority over the south of France as well, considering the amount of aircraft that we can deploy. And since we have captured the airfield around Toulon, we're going to have a pretty decent air base with which to advance our air efforts. We have recaptured Marseille, though. Not sure who's attacking here, but I don't like it. We're starting to run out of manpower pretty severely. So we're going to need to get that political power going, get that White Guard national focus. And down here in the south, they are still wasting their troops trying to cross pretty much the worst terrain that exists. If you've never been here, I have. I live up here, but I have been here. And you just can't walk 2 meters without like some rocks getting in your way. So it's definitely understandable that they're going to have problems passing through. Especially when we have those artillery pieces trained on them, as we do, along with our air support, which is doing fairly well. The enemy aircraft have been completely demolished and are now not able to participate in the fight. I don't want you guys to go there. I want you guys to help in this combat that we are losing. Let's try to recapture Marseille with a 2 infantry division push. And we should be able to leave 1 infantry division there to protect it. Now, can we? Nope. We're going to need to wait until New Year. And there's a problem. Can we hold Rep Soviet Russia? Well, Rep. Not really. Good riddance, I guess. Russia seems to have won the Civil War. And Finland has managed to grab itself Aloniets as well. So, go down Finland. Yay, Finland. There's New Year. And now we can research some new weapons, which are obviously going to help us in the fight pretty greatly. We are getting some nice ace pilots, actually. If I'm going to check out my air tab, we have a couple of them active. We have Two Shot, the Baron, and Hawk. One over southern France, one over Italy, and another over Italy. So no one over the Po region, which is this area. It's getting pretty hard to see, but yeah, okay. So the enemy still has a fairly substantial air force over here in northern France, but and also probably in England. Yeah, the British having, as always, a very strong air force, which is still called the RAF, even though it's not royal anymore in the Kaiserreich universe. It's the Republican Air Force. I mean, as always, managing to find a way to stay true to life in Kaiserreich, even if it's not true. We're just shuffling around troops trying to defend from various different thrusts that the French are attempting on us. We have managed to complete the White Guard, and I feel like supporting domestic car manufacturers would not be too bad of an idea to get that tank research later on. However, getting land forts would also not be a bad idea. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Although, getting a navy. Navies are good. Especially for us. But we'll go with the normal. Oh, that's a minus 50 political power hit that right now I don't want to take because I need to change my recruitment law from volunteers to limited conscription. So for now, we'll just wait, and we could do the National Development Program, or we could go with tank research. We'll go with the Navy. It's about time we actually get a Navy off and ready to go. There is an amphibious assault coming in, which is not going to work. There's a new Mound Division ready to go. And there's still some naval invasion problems. They're trying to take Venice this time, and oh, here's a lot of British troops. They have landed in Friuli, and they could just cut off a part of our country. The problem is they don't have any ports, so we can just very easily keep them in the beach. And that's going to be a loss of 8 divisions for the Union of Britain. Union of Britain not exactly being the most manpower rich country. So it's going to be a fairly heavy blow to them if we can take them out. We're also having problems down here in the south of France. We're going to retake Marseille, probably. Despite the fact that we are able to help our divisions with a lot of the air force and the fact that they don't really have any supplies, they're still able to deal a lot of damage. There's our light tank research. And I believe I'm going to end it right now and going to see you in the next part of the Italian Federation. Hope you've enjoyed so far, and I'll see you then.